back. We are live with another night, another night of good vibes, late night vibes. Um, yeah, I'm feeling pretty relaxed right now. Welcome in everyone. Welcome back to Midnight Underground. Tonight, the first ever attempt at doing the Midnight Vault dive. If you're here with us, thank you for showing up. Welcome in. My name is Derek. I'm your curator of the vault, and I hope you are doing well. I hope you are having a good night. It's a pleasure to be back here in Midnight Underground. Welcome back. If you're returning, we got Bunk, we got Red Fire. What is up, guys? Yeah. No, honestly, I know we'll be able to stream tonight at least until hoping until 11. My daughter, last I checked, is awake right now. She's got four teeth coming in at the same time, so she's chewing on a lot of wood, a lot of blocks, a lot of stuff. As you know, if you were here last night, my stream did crash. That hasn't happened in a while. I had everything plugged in, and I know I cannot do that. So that happened. That was a bummer. And then literally I got the stream back up, fired up, and then I got a call that she was awake, and duty calls, and that is, she was up, guys, until teeth are a scam, to be honest. I know you guys are talking a lot about teeth and the dentist this week. Even I chimed in. So I hear you there. Yeah, dude, we feel bad for her. She's really going through it with the teeth business. She didn't go to sleep last night. I think it was until 1:30. So like from the time she was up when my wife went up, which was around 10 o'clock or like 9:30. She was up from then all the way until 1:30, and girl did not even nap yesterday. So she, like, she was going through it where she just could not sleep. What's up, Tucker? Tucker in the chat. Yo, man, how's it going? Yeah, it's been a minute, guys. I know I was able to stream. We had a good stream on Thursday. So Friday, last night we got shorted a little bit. That was my own fault, in certainly in some ways. So thank you for sticking around if you were able to. If not, you didn't miss much. So anyway, guys, tonight we are doing the Midnight Vault dive. I'm really excited about this because I think this is gonna grow into something that is gonna be phenomenal. Like, this is I will say, so I am so excited that you guys are here tonight to be on this adventure of the Midnight Vault dive with me, because not only am I excited to share some of the art that I'm going to be sharing with you guys tonight, and it's going to be across like different genres. I did switch them up from the Discord post, so we're actually looking at a book, and kind of like a philosopher that wrote a book. We're going to be looking at a music artist, and then we're going to be looking at a visual artist. And over time, I hope to grow this segment, do it once a month at the top of the month, and grow it to a point where like we are, getting submissions from everyone of things that like you guys things that you guys want to see, and those are things that I'm able to bring into the stream. And I have visions for this down the road, how this will mature and how this will grow with us. Tonight, I want you to strap in. This is our test run. This is just me throwing a dart at a couple darts at the board to see if anything sticks. And I mean that in the sense of like the flow. Is this going to be, engaging enough for you guys to want to? Oh, I just dropped my phone. Do I want to stick around? So we'll see. We'll see how tonight goes. I am definitely curious to hear your thoughts. So if you want to share your thoughts after, please feel free to do that. If I'm expecting a text at 11 o'clock, I just hit myself with that. Okay. I'm expecting a text at 11 o'clock, determining whether my daughter is asleep or not. If she is asleep, then we are opening up the Discord lines. We are taking in phone calls. Feel free to call in at that time if we are able to get there, because at that point, I would love to hear your thoughts on anything I brought up tonight, or I'd love to hear some of your, I don't know, some of your underground gems that you guys would love to share. Full disclaimer: all the pieces I'm sharing tonight aren't necessarily underground in the sense that they're obscure, and that's important to note because eventually I do want to get to the point where I am highlighting more obscure artists across mediums. But for tonight, I stuck to my guns. I stuck to things I knew, because that's what's gonna make me feel most comfortable. My mom's eating gross crackers. What kind of crackers is she eating, Tucker? I'm curious about that. So yeah, guys, welcome to the Midnight Dive. So the only issue I have at this point is I just gotta share this. And I gotta figure out how I'm gonna share this. So give me 1 sec here. Share. Copy link. No, I don't want to do that. No, actually, what I want to do is I want to put this in presentation mode, slideshow. Oh, this is perfect. Yo, what's up, Menzi? How you doing, Menzi? Okay, I think I got it figured out at this point. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop over to this and let's see how this works. So Menzi, we're doing the Midnight Dive tonight. Watching the World Baseball Classic. Oh, well, that might be a little more. That might be a little more of your speed. Yo, what's up, Megan Keene? Oh, hey. Hello. Who's Corey? I don't know, man. She doesn't know. She doesn't know what chips she's eating. Nuffs? Nuffs? Not puffs? I bet they're like puffs. You're watching both? Well, thank you, Menzi. Thank you. We're going to go into some deep places tonight. So get strapped in. And we're going to take everyone along for an exciting ride. So let me just make sure. Here, I'm going to do this. We're just going to share my screen here. And I think this is good. All right, guys. So here we got it. The Midnight Dive. I did a little PowerPoint right before I started here. Just so you guys, so there's some visuals to go along with what I'm talking about here. So, what do we got? Book, music artist, visual art piece. All right. Who's up first? Let's look at this. Open the line. Wait, open the phone line already? Wait, what is it? Oh, I don't know. All right. It's just throwing me off that it's like, Keen, is that Tucker? Is that your sister? Megan, are you Tucker's sister? I'm gonna assume you are. This is great. This is very corporate. All right. First. All right. So the first book we're gonna be talking about this is gonna be odd. So it's not written by Alan Watts. I'll say that. It's not written by Alan Watts, and that's important. It's actually just his words collected from lectures. If you don't know who Alan Watts is and you live, let's call it in the Western world, like in the Americas, I highly recommend you look up Alan Watts. What he does, Bunk, you knew it? Were you expecting Alan Watts here, Bunk? Alan Watts is my boy. He's dope. Thank you for the lurk, Red. Thank you very much. Oh, you were like, yeah, I was expecting it. All right, well, good. That makes me feel good because like Alan Watts, dude, he's our boy. Alan Watts is our boy. Pissed that he's dead. Pissed that I didn't that he lived way before me, before my time. All right, you're a huge. Okay, all right. So, Bunk, thank you. I mean that makes sense. You're pretty cool, Bunk. I'm gonna give it to you. So why is Megan Keene just spamming Corey into the chat? Quintus Inuus, Corey, again with the Corey. All right, I guess this is a bit. This must be a bit from you guys. It's cool. Welcome in, Quintus. Hello. All right, so Alan Watts, wicked cool. I got into him when I was in college, and I used to be two. Now I'm one. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Well, welcome in, guys, for the first time. My name is Derek. It is a absolute honor to have you guys coming down to Midnight Underground. Thank you for coming in. You used to be two Corys, now you're one. That is awesome. Feel free to stay a while and chat about how you used to be two Corys and now you're one. So Alan Watts, yeah, he's dope, dude. I was going through some shit, and I was raised in a. It's interesting. I was raised non-denominational Christian, but looking back, it was kind of like what is the term? Like, not an authoritarian Christian household, but conservative, kind of like conservative a little bit. And I didn't know, what, like, I hit a point in my life where I just didn't know like what I believed in anymore. And then I found I was in my lowest low. I'll say it was, let's go rewind back to my junior year of college. I had hit rock bottom. I was, I could go into how it was my rock bottom. Essentially, I was never sober. I mean, I'll put it that way. It was a rough time for me. Change Alan to Corey. Corey Watts. Lived Corey. Okay. You got a lot going on with Corey over here. Cool. Great. All right. So that's great, guys. I'm just gonna assume your friend, your Tucker's siblings, and that's what I'm gonna leave that at. But yeah, Alan Watts, if you don't know anything about him, what he does is he takes Eastern philosophies, Eastern teachings, and he puts them in the Western Christian tongue. That's like I think, Bunk, would you say that's a fair way to explain Watts? And it's interesting too, because I've brought Watts up to different people, and people have very different understandings of what he was all about. Yeah, I think that is like the best way to put it, because he doesn't, like, if you listen to him or if you read his work, and he talks about this a lot, he is never trying to indoctrinate anyone into a certain belief. He really just says, here's what all of these other schools of thought think, here's what all these other philosophies think, and take with it what you will. I'm gonna leave this at your door. You either let it in or you don't. You're too deep in the illusion. That's okay, Red. Yeah, he really did. Yeah, I would say that's he really does bring the Eastern philosophy, especially at the time that he came about. And I know the thing that, especially Bunk, I think you'll appreciate this. The reason why Watts stood out to me so much was because the church that I grew up at would look at any Eastern traditions, any Eastern religions, like as a whole, and just go like, oh, that is just like silly, stuff. Stay safe, Red. Change your name to Corey, and then you'll be what is this? You guys are just having a ball here. All right. But yeah, it's one of those things where I knew, like, as I started listening to him, it was just like all of his stuff just started to make more and more sense, because kind of like the xenophobia behind Eastern ideas were like things I grew up with. In a short sense. So the book that I want to recommend, or that I want to talk about, is You're It, which was the first book that I read of his. And it's actually, I say it wasn't written by him because it's actually just his lectures. It's a accumulation of some of his lectures, that all kind of go into kind of this idea that there's no need to change yourself, because you literally are right now the unchanging infinite universe that is inside you. Like, you, in a sense, like, you're the universe experiencing yourself. And I don't know. When I recommend getting this, reading it. It's a very short book. It's only like, gosh, I want to say it's like 60 pages to get through. It's very short, really profound. And I think the thing that I love about it too is I didn't realize at first it was just a collection of lectures. So when I read it like it was a book, you know. But in the book itself, he talks about it in the very beginning, just after you read it, throw it out, which might not sound very green, very eco-friendly, but it's more so in a sense of just like whatever sticks out to you, take it with you, and then live your life, you know. And that's something I really appreciate. I think a lot of times, especially in this age of consumption in digital media and all this shit, especially now that we're getting AI in our lives, if everything is being sold to us, like everything is like a pitch, a sales tactic, you know, some idea to get you to buy this, subscribe to this, you know. Here I am doing, you know, Twitch. Um, but I mean, I don't know. I typically try not to. I don't think I've ever told anyone to drop a sub. I don't think that's ever come out of my mouth except me just saying that now as like an idea. I have said, hey, drop a follow if you know, like what you're seeing here, but that's, you know, that's another thing. But yeah, man, I don't know. You're it. And I think there's so much culture around changing yourself to become, you know, um, like, I don't know, this improved version of yourself. Like, I think we go through a lot of shit and life can be very tough. And this is one of those pieces that just really level sets you if you need that in your life. So that's the first piece. All right, Alan Watts, you're it. Next, my artist for the month. I'm gonna go with Sylvan Esso. Part of why is I have a fun backstory to Sylvan Esso. Sylvan Esso, if I put their album cover, like their album art for their track or their album Sylvan Esso up here, it's just the SE. Artists are Amelia Meath and Nick Sanborn. They're both alive today. They're both still, you know, making music under this name. This group formed in 2013. But Sylvan Esso is like very much almost like a electro. I think it's electro funk or electro pop group. And the way we found them was very like serendipitous. My wife was auditioning at Boston College for an opera program, and so we stayed at the Verb Hotel, which is right next to Fenway Park. It's like right behind Fenway Park. And so we stayed there, and the Verb, the whole theme of the hotel is music themed. So every single room has a record player, and they have a whole library of records down in the first floor. Really cool hotel. I do not recommend booking there during baseball season. I'll say that. All right. But we got into our room, and we actually had one of our best friends with us. So it was me, my at the time were we married? I think we were engaged at the time. Oh god, my memory doesn't serve me well. But essentially, we were like, you know what? Let's just play every album that is currently in our room. And we came across this one, and we were like, all right, we have no idea who this is, what it is, and we put it on. We hit play, and dude, it was one of those experiences that you have that you'll just never forget. If you play this track on good audio equipment for the first time and you get the bass and it is just bumping, you're like, this is good music. This is like good, like I could party to this music. It's very lo-fi, like low vibes. Or actually, I guess it's high frequency music. It would be considered something like that, I think, as far as like the actual sound. But it really, I will say, the reason why I wanted to highlight it is because Sylvan Esso, by Sylvan Esso, really would be something I'd play all the time in the underground if copyright laws were not a thing. So there you have it, Sylvan Esso. I would like to. I think what I can do is here. I'm gonna pause this really quick because I know one thing that I think is allowed is playing just short clips. Oh, what is Jersey Club? Hold on. Jesus Christ. Nope, not this. Um, Here we go. Let me see if I can find. Oh, honestly, Coffee's a pretty good one. I'll just play a clip of this.
Imagine being able to build.
We'll just play a clip of this just so you guys can get a good understanding, a good vibe of what the sound is here.
The bow against the wood. Though the words are true.
All right. You can see how you like listen to this. I think it's about to drop. Oh no, it's not dropping yet. All right, I won't play it too long, just so I avoid all the copyright strikes on this account. But yeah, you can hear it. Hopefully, go listen to Sylvan Esso. Very cool shit. Very good vibes. Especially this album in particular. I can't speak to all of their music. I'm the type of person that typically I have to I have to be obsessed with something to listen to everything they've ever made. That's kind of I mean, yeah, I don't think that there are many things that qualify in my life right now under that umbrella, but that's my thought there. Any like thoughts on this or like oh hold on, that was the next one. You didn't see that. Any thoughts on Sylvan Esso or Alan Watts? I don't know if I should stop and do like a pulse check. I remember when I worked for this last company, and we would do like phone calls with people. Part of like the sales strategy there was you do pulse checks with people, and you go, now how does that sound to you? Or like, now how do you think this could improve your life if you use X, Y, and Z? So that's just my thought there, guys. All right. Perfect. So no thoughts. That's awesome. All right. So next, I'll say the last artist we're gonna highlight today is an old school guy, Mark Rothko. Why would I highlight Mark Rothko? I think Mark Rothko, all of his work is like I don't. I think there's just something perfect about his work. I've done a lot of projects on him throughout my life. Actually, I've done like 3 projects on Mark Rothko and his pieces. Choosing pieces. I've written papers on him. I think he's a cool dude. Part of it, the reason why is he created all of this art because it just like struck him. Like these are his pieces. They're like bigger than people most of the time. They're these pieces that are like 8 feet by like 6 feet. Like that's what this one seems to be here. You know, they're all pretty big pieces across the board. And the whole idea of it was he just wanted to create something that like struck him, that said something without saying something, you know. And so a lot of his work kind of is all just these block patterns. This one's probably called purple on red, on brown, you know, like they're all very simple like that. And the thing about Rothko was he never wanted to commercialize his art. Of course he was an artist, so like to a certain extent I'm sure, you know, making money wasn't a bad thing. Although I think with his life, I'm pretty sure he didn't make a ton of money. He wasn't this prolific person until after I believe he gosh, if I'm thinking of the right artist, I feel like he committed suicide, but I'm not sure. I probably should have fact checked myself before I said that. But for the most part, yeah, after he died, they pretty much took all of his work and then commercialized the shit out of it, you know, and started putting it in all these galleries everywhere, and you know, they just sold all of his whole collection or whatever the case was. But part of why I like his stuff is it's kind of like that idea of like you stare into the abyss and the abyss stares back. You know, there could be anything going on in your life, and I think I've been to a lot of art galleries in my life. There's something to be said for walking up to a piece that is like far larger than you and just like being kind of just humbled by it, you know, humbled by its presence. You're just an ant living on this rock essentially, and you're just here to observe. So something like that, like something like this, fucking cool. I've seen only one of his pieces in person. I think it was Red on White was the piece that I saw, and I actually haven't thought about that experience in a while. But it was different. I couldn't really describe it. It was just more of like an overwhelming like sense of being like lost, was how I described it. And you get all these like, I think one thing that's really unique about the human mind is it's a lot like a frequency, that is bouncing all over the place. And I think when you take away some of your senses, your imagination can start to like run wild and do things that it typically has never done before. And I think, a piece like this could evoke something like that. Kind of reminds me of going into like a sensory deprivation tank a little bit. When you take away your feeling of space, your feeling of sight, of sound. I mean, you can't really take away some of your senses to a certain extent, but you can get pretty close to deafen them or dampen them. Your brain will start to test if you're actually there. And I think the imagination, like the what is it called? The gland that's in our brain. Oh, geez, somebody help me here. It's that gland that's in our brain that basically is responsible for what we imagine when we see things. Not the hippocampus. Yeah, pineal. Thank you, Bunk. Pineal gland. So it's kind of like that. Like the pineal gland really can go really wonky, do some wild things when you're just like at that state of just sensory deprivation. And I wouldn't say that this is essentially separate sensory deprivation, because it's definitely not. But I would say the feelings were similar, where, it's just you and time. And, what do you do when it's just you standing at the edge of like time and space? You kind of just have to chill out. You just have to accept it, because you're not going anywhere. You can't do anything about the moment. You can't, I mean, you could run away. You could try to run away. But, I mean, do you want to run away from life? Or do you want to face it head on? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's... So anyway, guys, that brings us to 1040. That is the... Oh, let me just stop sharing my screen there. That's the Vault Dive. That's tonight's Midnight Vault Dive. Any questions, comments, concerns? Let me know. Shoot me a DM on Discord. Honestly, that kind of brings me to the end. I was gonna read from the book. I was looking for it. I couldn't find my copy of You're It, so I wasn't able to actually find that. As far as the music, I want to just be careful around playing too much copyrighted music, just so I don't get any strikes. I know I'm a small streamer. Don't get me wrong. I know I'm like an ant. I said ant twice tonight. That's the third time. I know I'm like a tiny streamer, so I know I probably wouldn't get a copyright strike, but I'd just rather avoid it. I will say, when I first streamed, I was playing a lot of Nujabes, and everything was muted, and I know that's to be, expected. The Twitch AI checker is like checking for that shit, but I prefer to at least like, hear stuff if I ever look back at the video from tonight. And yeah, I will say some other things, just to give you guys a taste, is, I think I mentioned it last night. We finished watching last night Spirited Away. We're going to keep watching the Miyazaki movies going forward. They're just so beautiful. They're just such great pieces. So we're going to show our kid probably Howl's Moving Castle next, or maybe, one of them. One of the good ones. Last night, actually, I started rewatching Interstellar. I mean, I was up for a while last night. So I was like, you know what? I'll put on Interstellar and see where the night takes me. And so I did that. That movie is like, it's such a cinematic movie. It's wild. Um, Goddamn, Matthew McConaughey, dude. What a and I'm interested to finish watching it because I remember it pretty well, but there were parts where it's like, oh, I don't remember that at all. Like in the movie when I watched it the first time, and especially where you know how it ends. Like a lot of the stuff in the beginning actually is like, oh shit. There's a lot of oh shit moments when you rewatch Interstellar after seeing it for it's been years since I've seen it, but um, yeah, I guess now. Oh wait, welcome. Who's this? I don't know. I why doesn't it let me? Oh, cause that's why. Oh, Megan Keen is in the Discord now. Nice. Um. Yeah. So I don't know. If anyone wants to call in, let me know. I'll hop into Nightline right now. I'm deafened on Nightline, so if anyone joins, nothing will happen. Otherwise, I'll just sit here and chat. I'm gonna aim to just chat at least until 11. Um, and just give us a good go of it for the night. So, any thoughts, any gems from you guys, like things that you think would be good to maybe bring into next month's Midnight Dive, Vault Dive? Don't all. I was just gonna do that like stupid ass boomer saying, "Oh, don't all jump at once." No, I hate that. I hate when like teachers would say that in school, like our professors would say that. They'd be like, "Oh, don't all jump at once to get it done," and you're like, "Bro, like just chill. Like it's fine." Oh, I got a message. Let's see here. That most likely is. Oh, jeez. All right, everything's good. Heard anything from Don? Don Van Vliet. No, I have not heard anything from them. Oh, hold on. Let's see. I think I got another message. Okay. I'm just texting my wife real quick. So who is that, Bunk? Should I look them up right now? I feel like I'll use an artist musician. I love that. Hold on. I am going to look them up. Let me pull open Google here. American singer-songwriter and multi-instrumentalist. His stage name was Captain Beefheart. Was an American singer-songwriter and visual artist as the Magic Band. Oh wow! Oh, he's got a gravelly voice with a wide vocal range. Yeah, I like abstract art. Honestly, I love art galleries, and that is like I don't know if that's a thing. Um, like if that's. I mean, I'm definitely. I was very, very fortunate to grow up where I grew up because I grew up in the southern Massachusetts, Rhode Island area, and I was right next to RISD. I mean, I say I was right next to it. RISD was like a 45-minute drive for me. But, Rhode Island School of Design, they're doing some good stuff. Always. That was one thing. Like, I went there a lot. I actually hit a phase, especially when I was, like a senior in high school, where I went there like 3 times within a month. I'm the type of person that, yeah, if I go to an art gallery and I don't have children with me, I could be there all day. I could just like be looking at stuff and just enjoying it. I love going to galleries. I love just like, just enjoying things as they come along. Yeah, it is pretty cool stuff. Like, I don't. You know, it's one of those things where I really appreciate what people are doing across a lot of different, you know, genres. Like, you get your modern artists, and they're doing like statement pieces, and they're always different. There, a lot of them are. Sometimes they'll be like recycled things, you know. We recently went over to the Corning Glass Museum over in Corning, New York. Huge museum. If you're into glass at all, if you like glass and what glass can do, go to the Corning Art Museum over in Corning, New York. It is definitely a good experience. It's pretty big, and the gallery itself is it's doable within a day. You can go through the whole gallery within a day. I mean, we did. We skipped a little bit, but we did. I think we pretty much did the whole thing. Um, it was rad. It was a good time. Um, and yeah, I say I was fortunate because as well because when you know I was a kid, we had field trips to go to the Boston Museum. I went to a couple different museums independently when I was in college in Boston. You know, throughout the Southern Mass area. I went to college in Southern Mass for my undergrad. Um, you know, one museum I went to way too many times in undergrad because I was in Russian studies was the Russian Icon Museum. Um, but yeah, before I keep talking on that, Bunk, thank you for sharing. So what I'm gonna do here, what I'm gonna start doing anyway, is just making a list, and I'm just gonna add to that list right now because where is it? Oh, you know what? Yeah, the Voltaic. Okay. Oh, interesting. Let me see. Here, I'm just gonna put his name at the bottom. New artists. Oh, okay. Awesome. Yeah, here, let me while we're doing this, I mean, I could always just play his music because you'll hear it on my end. Is there any songs you would recommend by him, Bunk? Like Tropical Hot Dog Night? That sounds awesome. Hold on, I gotta just hear that right now. The 2023 remaster. Well, I think I gotta get through two ads. Yeah, it's all rad. Alright. Okay. Very abrasive. I mean, this is pretty good. This is like, you know, you're driving to this music and you're bobbing your head. Mountain Dew! Okay, hold on, there's his voice. There's his, I was wondering. No, that's awesome. What's up, Snooze? The album, hold on, let me, is his most popular Trout Mask Replica. Okay. Yo, Mountain Dew, thank you for popping in to say hi. Sorry, thank you, Mountain Dew. I always appreciate your support. I know I don't have to say sorry about last night's stream. I know you are, you know, just absolutely chill on all fronts, but I wish we could have hung out more last night. Snooze, Snooze, how you doing? Snooze, are you at work or did you just get off work? What's going on, Snooze? Tell us what's the good word? What's going on in Snooze's life? No, Bunk, thank you for sharing that. I actually do have everyone from last time too. Oh, Trout Mass Replica. Cool. I don't know why it's like copying the text so weird. Where's my? Oh, there it is. There we go. I like things with proper capitalization. All right. So, you just got home from the bar. Too much silly juice. Oh, someone's feeling silly. Um, yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Too much silly juice can be you're just too silly right now. What are you doing with yourself? Um, it sounds, guys, not to jinx myself, but it sounds like Natty is out. It sounds like Natalie is asleep. Um, it's good. Honestly, it's more so like it's good for everyone. It's good for the world when babies can sleep. That's why I'm excited. Because, dude, when I tell you it is so heartbreaking when a baby is just like, they're in pain or they're uncomfortable and you can't, like, you've given them all the medicine that you can literally give them. Um, and they're just not fucking with it. It's like, yeah, I'm going to use that too. Silly juice. I'm gonna go have some silly juice. I had a little too much silly juice today. I was a good little boy today. I didn't have any silly juice, and I had multiple opportunities. We went to a restaurant, and I said, I'll just have some Coke. And so I had a lot of sugar instead. But nothing beats water. Look at that H2O, man. Look at that. That is some nice water. Oh, dude, you can see me through the glass. That's actually pretty trippy. There I am. Wild. I'm wasted. I'm fucking zooted. Usually I say I'm zooted. And I don't know if it's the same, if it means what I think it means. I think it does mean what I think it means, but you know, um, yeah, that's hilarious. Well, Snooze, it's been a minute. I hope you're doing well, Snooze. Zooted is for gardening? Wait, are you shitting me right now? When I say I'm zooted, I'm talking about like gardening? I've never known. Like, I feel like it's just like universal. You can say, like, I feel like with being drunk, you can, or even tipsy, you can kind of say anything. Like, I'm sloshed. I'm like, uh, I think if you say I'm cheesing, that typically means you're like laughing or high. I would say cheesing falls under like the I'm high or I'm like giddy, little giggly girl mode. If you're cheesing, it's that's cool. What are some other ways to say you're drunk? Hammered. It works for both suited, but suited. I purposely use for gardening. White girl wasted. Yeah. You could use anything. You can kind of make up your own language, especially when you've had a couple to drink. You're just like, I'm just in the feels. Anything will come to mind. Like I'm just um you love okay, Snooze, you would get along great with Mrs. Midnight because that is all she pretty much drinks whenever we go out. Because in her theory, and it is a good theory, and it's not a theory, it's a fact. When you do vodka seltzer, you're staying hydrated while you're getting drunk. The best thing you can do for yourself is drink as much water or forms of water while you're drinking so you offset like the hangover. That is the perfect way to get drunk. I used to party with this guy and he did a lot of other things that I didn't do, but his theory and his whole family like swore by this, and he was like, yeah, my mom taught me this and this is like what I do. He said after every time he has 2 drinks he has 1 quart of water, and he was like, if you go with that, if you like do 2 alcoholic beverages and then you pound a big tall glass of water, like you will never have a hangover again. And the guy, I will say, the guy would bang, like he would bang out a lot of drinks. And he would just be slinging water. And he was like, "Yeah, you got to go to the bathroom a lot, but it's worth it." And I was like, "Yeah." High Noons and Carbless. I don't even know what Carbless is. Is Carbless a new like vodka seltz drink? Be right back. All right. I feel you. I'll see you in a sec, Bunk. Carbless. I'll miss you, Bunk. Oh, Carbless. Yeah, I've never seen these. They look good. Oh my god. Margarita, Palomas, Mojitos, Moscow Mules. The carbless cocktail variety. That sounds very nice. Um, Carbless and High Noons. Those sound like pretty good choices there. Yeah, Shaloui's just do a Tito's with seltzer and lime. Me, I think my go-tos whenever we're out is typically I'll go Coors Light, I'll go Old Fashioned. That's typically it. And then I like some other choices. Sometimes I'll do a martini if I'm feeling a little frisky. If I'm feeling a little saucy, I'll do a nice little martini. I'm a big margarita girl when it comes to going to like any kind of like Mexican, Spanish like food place. I'm always doing a marg. I don't care. I'll be like house marg. Get me the tahini. Get me the salt. You know, no sugar. I can't stand it when they put sugar on the rim of a marg. So I'm very much a salt or a spicy salt guy. Um, and like doing tequila flights, those are fun. I love doing flights of things like flights of beer. I've never really had a lot of flights of bourbon or whiskey, but like big fan on just trying things out. So that's a good choice. Good choices there, Snooze. I respect that. Um, yeah, I guess. Um, I'm trying to think. Outside of that, oh yeah, we were talking about things that you'd say if you're drunk. I'm Kirby'd. I'm Kirby'd up. I'm Kirby. I think next time I'm drunk, I'm gonna say I'm Kirby right now, and just let people like think, like what is he talking about? And I'll say, I'll do this. I'll how this person is right here, the mega consume, where they're just sucking everything in. You know, that's gonna be me essentially. I'm gonna say that's me. I'm just sucking everything up right now, and it's liquor. And I think that's fair. I think that's a fair, way to approach it. So we made it. We made it to pretty much 11 o'clock, which is what I was hoping for. We got out of here alive. So I think what I'm gonna do real quick is, I I almost say because we last night we were shorted on Super Meat Boy. I think what I'd want to do. Bunk is bad. I was panicking, Bunk. I'll be honest with you. I think what I want to do is just greetings from Italy. What is up, Photo Padini? Wow. Welcome from Italy. My name is Derek. Welcome to Midnight Underground. We were just talking about a bunch of stuff tonight. I actually did I tried out a new thing called. I highlighted a couple like different pieces of art tonight. We talked about some artists like Alan Watts, Mark Rothko, Sylvan Esso, different mediums, all different kind of vibes for sure. How's your night, Photo? Welcome in. Welcome into the chat. Welcome into Midnight Underground. We're a place that it's like a variety stream. I like to do like kind of talk show stuff where people can call in on the Discord. I do video games, all sorts of stuff. So yeah, feel free to chat away in the chat. Welcome in from Italy. I'm very honored. I'm very honored that someone from Italy is here. Italia. That's, you know what, Italy. it's cool to hear that you're from Italy. This is kind of related, not really, but I recently finished watching The Sopranos, which they're all Italians, and I loved it. And there is a season where the main character, Tony Soprano, goes to Italy to talk with the Italian mafia. Oh, dude, you love Alan Watts? There we go. I think anyone that loves Alan Watts, you got some good shit going on in you. You got an idea. Like I feel, I immediately, and maybe this is not like the best measure of things, but somebody tells me they love Alan Watts, I'm like, immediately I feel like I trust you. Yeah, you're among friends. Tonight I'm actually not drinking. I will say, photo. A lot of times, what I'll do on Saturday nights is I'll do this. I'll usually make cocktails while I'm streaming, and it'll be like a cocktail of the week. Um, so yeah, that's awesome. Bit drunk, you know. Getting on the sauce is a common theme tonight. I feel like I'm like, well, I'm treating myself right. I'm still not 100%. I did get over a sickness this past week. I had a pretty nasty virus that I took me forever to get over. Still coughing from the virus, so peer pressure. Drink, drink, drink. I did drink last night, and that was good. I had some whiskey all night. You know, my favorite whiskey, in fact, my whiskey that is brewed in a beer barrel, a hops barrel, and I just love the taste. Love what they're doing. It's a company out in Connecticut called Continuum. Oh, actually, no. They got bought and they changed their name. Now they're called the CT Brewing or distilling. So I bartending is something I want to get better at. So I actually started doing like making drinks just for this, like for the stream. I've always wanted to learn how to make drinks, so I've made like whiskey sours on stream. I've made a couple other cocktails, like I've made a Jack Rose. I made like gimlets. Um, I haven't made. I've made Manhattans, old fashions, um, just basic ones. I'm starting off with all like like the major types of cocktails. Photo, is there any cocktails you would recommend for next week? While I have you, this is like I think that's the beautiful thing about people hopping in for the first time is it's like, you know, it's kind of like when I was in LA. It gives this vibe of like, you know, you meet somebody just for a night and you become best buddies with them, and then you know there's a lot of times with all those people I met, more often than not, I've never have seen them again or talked to them again, and that sometimes that's just how life goes. You love a grasshopper, not that common, but a good one. Okay, let me look it up. I think that'll be drink. What's in it? Grass sweet mint chocolate dessert cocktail with equal parts creme de menthe and white creme de of cocoa de cacao. I don't know. Cacao and heavy cream shaken with ice, served with in a chilled glass with mint or nutmeg. That sounds pretty good. A Singapore sling is your second favorite. Yeah, I'm not advanced enough for like the harder ones. Gin based cocktail. It looks pretty cool. Fruit and herbal. I have Cointreau. I don't have Benedictine. Pineapple. I have bitters. So yeah, cherry liqueur, Cointreau, pineapple. Oh, that sounds. Oh, that actually doesn't sound too crazy. That sounds pretty good. I love gin. So no, feel free to ask anything. I'm based out of New York. I live over in like, if you look on a map and you see New York, um, there's like New York City, and then there's the rest of the state. I live kind of in like the central point of New York, is how I would describe it. Possible ban monitoring automod. Well, yeah, that's clearly cheap. Yeah, clearly that's a thing. I've been to the U.S. quite some time. 21. You've been to more states. You've been to like about the same amount of states that I've been actually. 21. Dude, where you gotta everybody. I just want to hear what states you've been to now. Bunk, I don't want to dox you at all, but I'm very curious to hear what states you've been to. Or, yeah, you don't have to, like, say I live here if you don't want to. Yeah, 21 states is pretty good photo. Like, you've been to a lot more states than most Americans. And I think that's what more Americans need, is they need to travel. Because one thing, guys, that I live in an area that is an old factory city. Where I live is actually where IBM started. We have the IBM factories here. They've since been converted, but when IBM left this area, it devastated the economy. Like the whole economy was built around IBM, and you can really tell when you drive through certain areas. Since then, just the West Coast, Bunk. More state. Oh wait, actually, Bunk. I think I remember where you kind of mentioned north to south, Chicago to New Orleans. That's a pretty good. Those are two of the best cities in the country. So, I can't speak much to Chicago. I've never been to Chicago, but I've been to New Orleans, and I loved going to New Orleans. I actually wanted to. I surprised my wife, Mrs. Midnight, this year with for her birthday. I was really torn up. Yeah, there's a lot of culture. Dude went on a culture run. Dude, yeah, Louisiana, and I just, Bunk, Snooze. If you guys haven't been to New Orleans, I would say the sooner the better. It is definitely going to be underwater in the next like 10 years. So, but their like gator, their food just in general, is amazing. Po' boys, I will say, you're going to hear about po' boys, or it's really like a commercialized sandwich down there now. Po' boys are not what they used to be. And I was told that by a couple Louisianans. Like, po' boys were poor boy sandwiches. Like, you pretty much just found whatever was in your cabinet, and that was your sandwich. And they made it like a brand, like a po' boy brand. Don't fall into that commercialization, but everything else is approved. Yeah, see, and that's the thing too. Like, it was gonna be it's expensive to go on a, like, even when I was looking at booking it, I was like, booking the plane tickets and a hotel. It was like running me close to like, $800 for a weekend. And that's, gosh, like, we don't have that kind of money even still. Like, we're not that. We have two kids. So it's a lot. Do not tell others Italians you said that, but Chicago style pizza is actually good. Yeah, dude. Chicago style pizza is good. The deep dish, it's fire, honestly. It is. No, and that's the thing too. Like, yeah, it is just hard to get away sometimes. You're gonna go visit Red, but it was too much. Yeah, travel is tough. Travel's really tough, especially if you don't have a company that like forces you to travel. Like, I think it just makes it all the much harder. I have a company that actually wants me to travel, but right now our current situation is my wife. If I were to leave, because my job's asking me to leave to go to like conferences essentially in the middle of the week, but like if I do that, then we don't have anyone to help like watch my kids, because I watch my daughter every day, Monday through Friday during the day. I have like a work from home job. So yeah, no, Chicago style pizza is good. I mean, food, and I will say, photo, I've only been to Russia. Russia is the only country outside of the United States that I've ever been, which might be sound weird, but that's just my experience. I went to Russia back in 2013 was when I went to Russia. Oh no, it was 2012. I mean, the food there was it was different. I will say, Russians have some like interesting foods that they, eat. It's kind of like more of an Eastern diet than I would say like a European diet. With some of the influences they have there. Yeah. No, the photo, we get the same experience with Americans. And I will say, I don't know if it's just because of the current climate, the current cultural climate that's going on in the US, but we have been dealing with that too. We are either running into like absolute like do not give it, they like, I've been dealing with people lately, and my wife has been actually getting really, she's losing her patience, because we've been dealing with people that are just like have no concern for anyone else in their path. This week we almost again got a woman in Walmart. We were walking down the main aisle. So when you're walking and you're walking down the main aisle of a store, you have the right of way. If somebody is coming out of an aisle, they're like they're basically at a stop sign. They need to look both ways before they just go out. We had our baby. I was pushing my baby, and this woman just barrels out, and like it was one of those things where I jumped because like she was pretty old actually, and to have that much chutzpah, I was like, God damn, like just take a break, And yeah, I was like, whoa, like, hey, sorry, like we're walking here. And that's what I said, and my wife was just like, no, she needs to be sorry because like we were walking, and honestly, my wife was right. Like I was being very nice. I was being like more than nice, for somebody that almost just like literally ran their car into my like 11-month-old stroller. But yeah, that's kind of how it goes. I think I will say though, it really does depend to like what states you're in, because certain states will have like different kinds of nice people, if that makes sense. Like I don't know, I thought, yeah, when I was in Los Angeles, there was a different type of like, there were like normal people, and then there were like way too like the fake nice of people that I experienced, like people that you could tell like they were just like super just putting on airs and did not give a shit at all. And yeah. So you got a flat in the middle of nowhere in Minnesota, something like Baudette or something similar, vomited by a French dude. And this guy I've never seen literally drove 2 hours to bring me a new tire. Yeah, no. So your Midwestern people can be extremely nice. I mean, it's like pockets. You're going to find pockets of people that will be extremely nice. And just so you know, like the assholes that live in this country, just like any other country in the world, like, yeah, we're dealing with them too. They suck. They suck. I got some really like, I've had some interesting interactions this year. Like, and I don't know if it's just because we're living in such a strange time with AI and consumption, like media consumption, people live in that shit right now. And I don't know if that's the factor. Thankfully, like I haven't had, I will say when I was in Los Angeles, that was the only time in my life that I've ever yelled at somebody publicly because they were such an asshole. I'm a very calm person for the most. I actually said this last time. Like, it takes a lot to actually piss me off. You have to like try to piss me off. You felt like we take it to the extreme. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not gonna say you're wrong. I'm not gonna say you're wrong at all. I feel like that makes me feel better. That makes me feel better hearing that. You know, when I was in Los Angeles too, I stayed at hostels when I lived there. I lived there for about 8 months, or I lived there for over 8 months. And so I stayed at hostels the whole time I was there. And all the people I met at the hostels were typically Australians, Canadians, Italians, French. I met some people from Denmark, some people from all over the world, really. Um, the Italian, I've danced. I was a dancer for a long time, like classical ballet trained, and there was a point in my life where I danced with a lot of Italians, and I loved dancing with the Italian people, mostly because you guys were like, I will say, out of all the cultural groups I've danced with, Italians were the most inviting. Like, I felt like I was accepted into the group, like, before I had even done anything. And actually, when I was in LA, now it's coming. Oh no, I was gonna say I spent time with this French dude that was like nuts. But no, usually I've had a lot of good experiences with Italians. Outside Baton Rouge, a policeman pulled. Oh, honestly, hold on. I'm gonna stop reading that right there because, like, just that sentence, outside of Baton Rouge, you were pulled over by a policeman. Already, I'm sorry. Already, like, I know whatever I'm about to read is not great. He was right. You were speeding. In Italy, when police pulls you over, you get outside the car. You do not do that. I learned it that. Oh God, he was holding his gun on you. That's rough. Yeah, and in the U.S., they want you to have your hands on the wheels, and just the whole idea here is you do whatever they say, apparently, which is just Fourth Amendment. Jesus Christ. Yo, Starla, how's it going? Honestly, I'm going way late. Like, this is wonderful. Starla is in the chat. Starla, Natalie is sleeping tonight. I don't know if you knew. I didn't message you about. Oh no, I did message you about that. Yeah, Natalie was like, she's feeling better. I don't know. She was chewing a lot tonight. I'm still not even convinced she won't wake up in the next 5 minutes, but we'll see. But yeah, my daughter was. She was up again late tonight. She just went down like a little while ago. So welcome in. We got Photo from Italy in the chat right now, Starla. A true-blooded Italian is here, gracing us with his presence. That is honestly, Photo, thank you for hanging out. Really means a lot that you come just to hang out. And if you ever want to, come in again, you are always welcome in the underground. Again, my name is Derek. Welcome to Midnight Underground. I think I said that already, but Goat and Stooge say hi. Well, Goat and Stooge, hi back to you guys. You guys are great. Yeah, we're just chilling, hanging out. I went through my vault dive, and that went well. I need to do better. I think next time I'll do a better PowerPoint, and I'll have better talking points. And if I'm doing a book in the future, I definitely want to read from the book. But for tonight, that was like good first start. And then what I'll try to do in the Discord is ask you or Ali, Starla, or Red. I think Red is either lurking. Red might be lurking still. But I might ask you guys to create a new channel so I can post like stuff from the vault dives in there. But we'll talk about that later. Guns. Yeah. We have a lot of guns in America. It's kind of like a big propaganda piece at this point. There are people that own guns because they go hunting. And that makes a lot of sense to me. Or there are people that own guns because they're former military, and they know how to use a gun, and that makes sense to me as well. Um, my very own midnight oven. Guns, beer, and freedom. Yeah, no, I will say that then there's a group of people that just should not be allowed to own guns. And I'm a libertarian. Like, my thought on, like, policy, like, really, I say this all the time. I never want to get into politics, and I try not to at all, guys. I really do, but it's a little impossible. Politics, in a sense, the way I look at politics, really, when you look at politics, and you know, Alan Watts explains politics pretty well, they're just poles. We're just, at the end of the day, talking about two different positions. They're polarizing. They're on the opposite ends of each other. That's your politics, just ideas. I think part of the issue, at least in America, is people are taking ideas and they're believing that the idea is a tangible thing that they can hold. I think if I were to summarize the problem with American culture right now, it's that. It's this idea that their idea, whatever the fucking idea is, doesn't matter. It could be a good idea, it could be a bad idea, it could be an idea that they believe is good but is actually bad, vice versa. But I think the thing is people like really are holding on to their ideas like clutching their pearls, and it is just somebody needs to give them a joint and let them fucking light up and calm down. That is my soapbox thing for tonight. I'm joking. I do not like guns. That is fair, Snooze. I'm the type where I think there need. Oh man, yeah. Again, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna put a pin in it there. There are a lot of guns in the U.S. That's all I'll say. In hopes of meeting some peeps, but somebody told me to carry machine guns. People told me people carry machine guns like backpacks, and I feel like I turned into a baby. Our far left is European center. Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's part of the issue is the American media, because it's not owned independently. They really love to position politics in a way that demonizes the everyman, like sincerely demonizes just the average human. But it somehow does it in this brilliant way where as it propagandizes people and as it makes people believe that billionaires are holier than thou, it makes them feel like they are basically like connected to these billionaires, that they love them, and that maybe one day they could be a billionaire too if they just work hard enough. That's like the American lie that like it's, oh man, god damn it, I think it really is like America's pretty we're embarrassing is an understatement. I think the world needs to publicly shame America for sure right now. It's just things are not looking good, bro. That's all I'll say to that. You got a lot of Americans in the summer. Canadian politics has its own issues too, with discussion. Yeah. We got a lot of Americans in the summer. Some differences are wild. People telling me that 100K a year is not that much always baffles me. Well, that's the thing. Yeah, our cost of living right now is... Our cost of living in America right now is bad. It is extremely bad. In my state of New York, they estimate that the average salary to live comfortably is 140K a year. Without kids. We're talking about a single person. The average salary to live comfortably in New York is 140,000. That is like what? What are you talking? Yeah, no, and that's true. Because when I do like the math out and when I think about how much my, like, cuz I bought a house last year. I don't make that. Even combined, my wife and I don't make that. Um, and when we talk about how much goes into are the mortgage payments, taxes, everything has a sales tax. We are taxed up the ass in the states, and it is just it's gotten to a point right now where like I don't like it's taxation without representation almost. Like we do have representatives, sure. I don't think the representation is nearly at all what it should be across the states as far as representing and reflecting the populace. Um, but yeah, lighter news. I did some haircuts and beard trims, and it's so fun. I love the career that I've chosen getting work right. Oh, that is cool, Starla. Yeah, yeah, I'll move away from the topic of money because I think everyone can relate to not making a ton of money. That's that's just how it goes sometimes. Um, at the end of the day, we are alive and we are able to put food on the table for our kids. So I'm not complaining too much, or I'm trying not to complain at all. More so, I'm just trying to like level set of like this is what's going on. But um, shortcuts and men's cuts, yeah, that's good. I love going to the barber. Yeah, I'll move away from the politics. I think it's hard because it is rare. Starla, I think I know Starla's over in Canada, so Starla also has Starla told me yesterday, she's like, yeah, we like you have your own shit going on in America, and it's like, yeah, it's fucking not great. So I'll put a pin in that for now. But Photo, you are always welcome to message anything in the chat. If it's ever too much, I'll let you know. All right. Please don't take that as me wanting to end the conversation. But for the most part, yeah, I'm a big barber guy. Um, there's this barber in my town, and he's like it's called Bill's Barber. He bought this. It's this dude from. Oh, where is he from? He's from the Middle East. I want to say he's from like. Oh, he hasn't told me where he lives, but I know he is like he's an immigrant, and he is a wicked nice dude. Wicked nice. Um, And the thing about him was, yeah, he like worked as the apprentice for this guy for like I don't know how many years, and then the guy ended up giving him his shop. He passed away, so now this guy, his name's Manoff, but he owns Bill's Barber Shop, and so some people still call him Bill just because they don't care to ask. But his shtick is that it is an old timey barber shop. You walk in there, and there's like old timey cash register, old timey coat hanger, coat rack, which an old fashioned coat rack, it looks like a robot. Like it looks insane. It is huge. It is huge. Like I don't even know. I could probably fit my arms around it, but it's like a tree trunk with probably like 50 different like hooks coming off of it. But anyway, his shtick is that he's always playing like 1920s music when you walk in, and he's like playing Frank Sinatra. He's playing like old like music like Frank Sinatra, and it is such a cool vibe. And he gives you the best haircut. You sit in the chair for about 10 minutes and you're done. And he keeps bumping his prices up. When I first went there, I actually went there for the first time the week going into my wedding. And I was like, I need a haircut. My wedding is this week. And the guy was like, I think more scared for me because if he messed up my cut, like he was probably thinking like, oh, if I mess up this guy's hair, he's going to be pissed. But he gave me a perfect cut. I loved it. And it was one of those things where he was like, all right, that's going to be $10. And I was like, $10? I was like, buddy, like you just cut my hair. Like here's $20. And he was like, he pushed the 20 back at me. He's like, I'm not taking 20. He was like, I'll take 15. And I was like, oh, okay, like sounds good. Since then, guys, he's bumped his price all the way up to 20 now. But I think he does that to cover the tip, because last time I paid him 20, I went to give him a tip, and he was like, "No tip from you." I mean, granted, I'm a loyal customer, and I've been there a bunch of times, but I was like, okay, like, suit yourself, you know. But yeah, I love a good barber shop. There was this barber shop that was like super bougie back in Rhode Island. That you'd go in there. Not only would they do like the hot towel treatment on you when you like sit down at the chair, but they also hand you a drink menu, and you can get like a cocktail or like an old fashioned, you know, any kind of drink you want while they're like doing your haircut, which is really cool because they would bring you the drink to like take a sip, and then they would like move it away so no hairs. They're not like letting you hold a drink while they're cutting your hair and like stuff is going in your drink. Goat, what's up, Goat? How we doing tonight? Thank you for popping in. We're talking about haircuts now. We've been talking about a bunch of stuff. We got Photo in the chat. Photo's an Italian from Italy. I mean, I think that I don't need to introduce Photo every time, but it's just exciting. We got Bunk. We got Snooze. I think Red is lurking. It's a good time. Goat, thank you for hopping in here. I got a fresh haircut, actually. I'm feeling fresh. Did Starla just give you a fresh haircut, Goat? I'm curious. I'm curious like a cat. Yes, Starla did. Let's go. Let's go, Starla, dude. That's fucking awesome. That is awesome. Yeah. Oh, and tonight, Goat, what we did was we did like the first ever Midnight Vault dive, which I talked about 3 different like artists. So tonight I talked about, and tell me if you know any of these people, Alan Watts. We talked about Sylvan Esso, and we talked about Mark Rothko. And those I chose one, you know, Alan Watts is more like a, you know, philosopher, linguist type. Sylvan Esso is a music artist. If you want to listen to some cool music, I recommend looking up their album Sylvan Esso. And then Mark Rothko, visual artist, known for his large block paintings. So those were my 3 focuses for tonight. It was good. It was successful, I think. I did what I wanted to do. I think that's the key thing here, guys. Something that I don't give myself enough credit for is that I do things. And I think you probably do that. You probably don't give yourselves enough credit either. When you do something, anything, it can be something very small, like make your bed. Give yourself a pat on the back. You deserve it. No, but seriously, you do. Because, like, tonight, okay, I wanted to do, like, a dedicated Midnight Vault Dive thing like I did tonight for, like, a few months now. I mean, even before as I was starting this whole stream last year, this was an idea that I've always wanted to do, and, like, I want to make it, like, a monthly thing every month, you know. And so I was pretty nervous about doing it tonight. I was like, you know what if this is stupid? What if this is just going to be a flop? And I'm proud of myself. I'm happy that I did it. And I'm going to get better as I do it more. What do I do for a living? So what I do for a living, I'm going to get to your comment, Goat, in a sec. What I do for a living is I actually work as I call myself a consultant. Essentially, I work in the ticketing industry as this is my day job we're talking about. And yeah, I work in the ticketing industry, where I work for a software company that does provide an all-in-one like ticketing solution for folks like, you know, theater companies, performing arts centers, civic centers, schools, colleges, universities. And it's an all-in-one, so it offers a lot of other things. I'm not going to sell the product right now. I don't really sell it anyway. I just kind of tell people what it does. And that's why I say I'm a consultant, because I don't get anyone to sign contracts or anything like that. I really just show people a software, and I go, so this is the software. This is how you use it. Have a nice day. And that is actually what I do every day. That's my job. Um, and then they either use it or they don't. So it's in the realm of sales, like my official title, like I am in sales, but it's like the most low key sales job I've ever held. Where like I'm not doing anything weird. I'm the whole point is just to listen to the person, the customer, and just tell them what we do, and that's all there is to it. It's very nice. It's a very relaxing thing to walk into every day because I know it's I worked in the kitchen industry for a long time. I worked in kitchens for about 8 years. I worked as a lifeguard for 8 years as well. I used to run a summer camp beach essentially, and that was like a life or death situation every day. That was intense. So yeah, thanks for asking. What do you do, Photo? What do you do for a living? And Goat, what do I think about Jim Davis? Why does that name? Well, I'm thinking of Miles Davis. First of all, I'll say that. Jim Davis, let me look him up. What do I think about Jim Davis? Oh, dude, Jim Davis, the cartoonist. Talk about a guy who does like a, chef's. Oh, because Garfield. He did Garfield and shit. All right, is that it? Yeah, best known for Garfield. Yeah, it's funny. Red's been posting a lot of Garfield in the Discord. Jim Davis, dude. Wow. Hold on. Oh wait, there's two Jim Davises. There's also a Jim Davis that was an American actor best known for his roles in Western television. Television westerns. Wow, and he also was a soap actor. But Jim Davis, the cartoonist, it's been a very Garfield week. Yeah, Red is very much in the Garfield vibes this week. Oh, you teach. Nice, dude. You teach at the university. Not sure if it's the same. Basically, I'm the tier below a full-fledged professor. So yeah, we have I will say so there's adjunct in the American college level, like in the American college bubble. There's adjunct professors where they're kind of like visiting professors. They come and go. Sometimes they'll be called a visiting professor, depending on their roles. But then you do have visiting professors, which those are more like anything with like the professor title in the States is typically like a professor, until they're tenured. And once they're in it, when they get a job as a professor at the university level, a lot of times they'll be called assistant professor or associate professor, something like that. And then once they become fully tenured, then they're like the professor, and then you can never fire them. Is basically how it goes. Yeah, ours isn't built out like that. It's not like researcher. Oh wait, no, actually, it's kind of like associate in full. I would say that's fair. If we're talking artists, how do we feel about Ali Starla / Joke? Ali Starley. I hardly know her. But at least you don't call me Ali Staria. Yeah, I don't see it. I guess they would have to look really quick. Starlight, maybe they're just looking like they just look and they're just like Ali Staria. I don't know. I'm not trying to defend them or justify their fuck ups. I'm not trying to make them sound better than they are. If anyone fucks up your name, fuck them. No, I don't. You know me. It's just a joke. And then they kept saying it wrong every time afterwards. They're like, "Oh, hey, Ali." What they thought then was they thanked you, and then they were like, "Oh no, I actually said her name wrong. It's actually Ali Staria." And then they just like ran with it the rest of their stream when they were talking about you. At least Starby. Starby. Ali Starsha. No, that'd be pretty noticeable if you had an SH in there. Ali Staravia. Ali Bubs. there's there's somebody in my life that I can't stand them, but they put Bubs after everything, and I can't stand it. I can't stand it because one, they're kind of, I will say they are pretty much, they're like a very shitty person. But God, that's funny. It's funny. There's so many ways we could call you like Ali or variations. Amy Starla. Amy, if we took it and we just changed your name completely. Aaron Stone. That's if you were a early 2000s boy love interest on like a Saved by the Bell show. You were almost named Max. I was almost named Gage. That's my counter to you. Ellie Startler. Let's hear my opinion on Sonic the Hedgehog's transition into 3D. Well, I can't have too much of an opinion on it, mostly because I haven't played any of the 3D games for Sonic. I'll start there. But my actual opinion on it is it's very weird. Because I've watched video on it. I've watched a good amount of video on it. It kind of reminds me of like that game. What's that game? It kind of reminds me of like the Subway Surfers game, or like that game where you're Temple Chase, whatever the fuck that was called. Where, you know, I don't know, it's just weird seeing the 3D. Temple Run, that's what it was. You were supposed to be named Efton, but your mom wouldn't let it happen. You were almost named Nazareno, and you not being Italian cannot fathom how bad that is. Yeah, I don't know how bad that is. That must be very bad. What is photo? Is your name actually like? Is your name photo, or do you have like? Do you mind sharing what you were actually called? Oh, David. But I think if it's Italian, is it David? I know. Who's my favorite Sonic character? Goddamn, Goat. Going in. I'm not a big this is Ask Me Anything. If you're to ask me today, my favorite Sonic character, it's always been Tails for me. And I don't know anything about the universe that well, but I've always liked playing as Tails. Alright. Sonic Adventure and Adventure 2, absolute bangers. Yee or Big. Yee. That is... Wait. Oh my god, hold on. Hello. Hello, we got a call. We got a call from Goat. Goat, can you hear me?
Hey, yeah, what's up?
Yo, we got a call from Goat, everybody. Thank you for calling into the Underground. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, I'm hanging out. I was on your, you know, like in chat on the live stream, and I saw you were in the what's the channel called? The Nightline. And I just thought I'd come check it out for like a couple minutes, see what's up.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Yeah, you know, that's the thing is like I'm doing this every Saturday now. Where now if you want to just call in, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna let everyone call in. So thank you for calling in. I appreciate it, dude. So you're looking fresh. You're looking fly with your new haircut. Is that right?
Yeah, it's a good haircut. It is very nice. It's not in my face anymore. My beard got trimmed. Yeah, I'd say I'm looking for it pretty fresh.
Pretty fresh, pretty funky, pretty fly. I like it. Um, well, in the theme with tonight being like the vault dive, going off of that, you already shared one, and I gotta give you credit there. Jim Davis kind of came out. It for some reason it's a very relevant like gem. Like he's a gem to talk about because I mean he Garfield and Garfield's been all over the Discord. But if you were to
Yeah.
share a like an underground gem, any kind of artist from any genre across time, like what's something that sticks out to you?
I'm a big fan of music. I really like music.
Okay.
Um, one of my personal favorite, like if we're talking really indie, like really hidden, really niche, one
Yes.
of my favorite music artists is named Jan Kagor, Yonkagor. They are a Chinese Indonesian like indie artist that makes pretty good music.
Whoa. All right. Is there are there any songs from them that you would recommend right now,
My
just to give us a
personal
vibe?
favorite from them is "Linger in the Rain." It's really good.
Okay.
It's
Here we,
really good. Um,
oh, I found him right away. Hold on. Yeah. Oh, okay. Hold on. Yeah, like that'll probably play
oh,
some. It's gonna play some
you planning on
commercials. I'll
you
just play
planning
a
on
quick
playing a
snippet.
bit live?
Yeah.
I don't
That.
know if they fit the vibe. I'm gonna be honest. They're like a really moody, kind of like it's all about like a big theme of their music is all about like overcoming trauma and like getting like escaping toxic relationships and like getting over breakups and hardships and stuff like that.
I mean,
Linger in the Rain's really cool because its instrumentals are really inspired by like Japanese like like J-pop, I think,
yeah.
or yeah.
Well, I'm watching the video right now for it. It looks awesome. Um, I mean, if you don't want me to, I won't. I'll say that, and I'll listen to this on my own. I mean, anything fits the vibe here, you know, because it's I don't know. It's kind of just like. Uh, I mean, I'll let it sit though. It's you know, linger in the rain, guys. Look it up, Jan Kagor. I'm gonna listen to this after we hang up here. Um, but thank you for sharing that, Goat. I appreciate it.
No problem. I like sharing a little bit of art, like that I like that I find or I do. Can I send you my some pixel art I'm working on?
Oh my god, I would love that. Yeah. Do,
Here, I don't have the whole like because I'm not at home right now, and like the more like updated version of the whip is on my computer, but let me just DM this to you.
okay. I got my
I'm still trying to figure out a name for this little guy.
the bunny.
Yeah, the bunny.
Dude, that's sick. I wish I
Thank
could
you.
show it on stream right now. I don't. I'm not good at. Like, I'm still learning stuff here. That is pretty good. You made that.
Yeah, I drew that. Well, it's not finished, but like that's what I drew of it so far.
Damn, dude. That's pretty good. That's like,
Thank you.
yeah. I did. So you're a bit of an artist. You dabble in the art a little bit.
I like pixel art. I like making little squares.
Little squares. Little squares make a big impact. That's what I'll say
Yeah,
there.
exactly. That's what I like to
Oh,
think when I play games like Sonic and Mario. Like the
yeah.
little squares, but they've made a big impact. They made a big impact on my life. They made a big impact on a lot of people's lives, you know?
Yeah. They do, dude. I mean, I think a lot about you know, I mean, of course, I was playing with more like polygons when I was playing on the 64, but it all goes back to you know the pixel, so
Yeah,
it's good shit.
yeah. I was about to say like I'll head out here in a moment, open up the night line, but like if you think about it, like polygons are kind of like really big squares.
Yes, They are no, like I mean, well, they are pretty much. I would say. I'd say that's a pretty accurate thought. I mean, like, yeah. When I think about it, it's. I mean, they're just three-dimensional squares in space. It's right. Is that fair?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude. Well, no, go. Thank you for calling in. I love talking to you guys. So go. This made my night. I want you to know you
No,
just made my night.
thank you for having me on. It's always fun to show up and like hijack this for a couple minutes. I'm gonna head on out now.
All right, everyone. Cheers, goat. Have a great rest of your night, goat. Thank you. Feel free to call in again next week. Love it. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Good night. Oh wow, that was a treat. I love it. Whoa. Wait, is somebody else? Hold on, I can't click around. I heard. Oh, there she is, Ali Starla.
I popped in next. I wasn't waiting by the millisecond at all.
I was not expecting the double. Hold on, before you talk, or actually before we get into this, Photo did the. Oh, sick! Did the Discord work for you, Photo?
Yeah, I threw in the link.
Thank you, Star. I saw you threw in the link there. What I want to know, Photo, what Discord link was not working? I'm actually curious because I know I shared the Discord link when I first started and I was sharing the wrong link. So there's definitely a
Maybe
dead.
the one like in your bio might be out of date or it might have expired.
It's
Because
definitely
I think
that
the one
one.
that I did the exclamation point thing, I think that one works.
Yeah, all the ones from Nightbot work because I switched it by that time because I found out. I think like back in the day, like somebody else let me know that they were dead. So welcome to the Discord, Photo, and Ali Starla. Welcome to back to Midnight Underground. Nothing much. Everything's good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Would you believe me if I said that I was like 5 feet away from Goat?
I would fully believe you because I felt like
We're in the exact same room, and I gestured like I'm gonna pop in immediately after.
no, because I could hear some talking in the background, and I was like, they're probably all together right now.
Yeah, well, I mean, we like watching you. I had you on while I was doing dishes, and Goat enters the
Hey.
kitchen and goes, "Oh my God, is Derek live?" And I'm like, "Yeah," and then I see him popping in chat.
Sick. No, that's sick.
Dude is also listening.
Oh, yeah. So, all right, Starla and Photo, we will have time for you to join as well. I think Photo will join after Starla, and that's perfect.
Absolutely.
So, Starla, question. The question that everyone's getting that calls in tonight, and will be asked anytime we do a future Midnight Dive, is tell me a bit about any kind of genre, any artist that comes to mind that you think would be a cool thing that could emulate, either how you're feeling right now, what's on your mind, or just the Midnight Underground vibes.
So the kind of music that I listen to is extremely varied. Like I am not really good at naming genres. I'm more so good at naming like names that you would see in my list, which could go anywhere between Black Eyed Peas to
Okay.
Metallica
Okay.
to Hank Williams to
Okay.
Billie Eilish. Like it's
Okay.
all over the place. But I've talked to you a little bit about Steam Powered Giraffe, which I feel like
Yes.
it's a pretty vibey band. Very like not big. They have a few hits for sure. If you've ever listened to the song Honeybee,
I
that
did.
is Steam Powered Giraffe, released a couple years ago. And yeah, you listened to a few of their tracks too, but they have a lot of different songs in different genres. They have like electronic music. They have some country-ish songs. My favorite country-ish kind of vibe song that they do is "That'll Be the Way Home."
Okay.
I don't know why that one in particular feels very like 70s, 60s country, like kind of old-fashioned but modern sounding in the quality.
Yeah.
But then they dip into dubstep a little bit, like house music. They have an entire album that is like a space story, like it's like a musical kind of, and it's
Yeah.
got 2 parts. It's their longest album ever. It's called the Vice Quadrant, and
Oh,
they
damn.
just like what's so beautiful about them is that they've been around for a very long time, and yet no album sounds the exact same. Every single album, not only are they numbered, album 1, the 2 Cent Show, MK3, Vice Quadrant, so on.
Yeah.
But every single album is a different vibe, different quality, different
Oh, that
genre,
is
and
cool.
it's new every single time.
So everyone, Steam Powered Giraffe. If you've never heard of them, go look them up. They are definitely they fall into a very different niche that I've yet to experience on like just looking for stuff on my own. And they have good music. Honestly, like it's pretty.
I'm pretty picky when it comes to my artists. Like usually there's only specific genres that I vibe with, but Steam Powered Giraffe, every single album has like at least half of them are bangers. Like it,
Yeah.
you know, maybe save for some of their promotional stuff because they also did the music for SteamWorld Heist. If anybody played that game, they were
Oh, okay.
featured in that game as like the band that's in the main hub. But they did the
Oh,
music for
nice.
SteamWorld Heist and the new SteamWorld game that came out. They did an album for that. So those ones are kind of a bit hit and miss, at least for me. But all of their main albums and even their live music, some of their live music is arguably better than the
Yeah.
album work that they do, and that's incredible to do as like an artist by yourself, but also just like I feel like it's difficult to sound better live than it is in a studio because that's kind of the point of a studio, you know.
Yeah.
So
Well.
I think Power Giraffe has at least one or two songs for everybody.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite artists falls into that. They sound better live than they do on their recording. I think that's huge props to the artists themselves when they get to when they can do that. It is because like I think we all know the reverse side of that is just sad when they do sound way better on the recording and then you see them in person and you're like, oh jeez, like what are they doing? So all right, well thank you. All right, so Steam Powered Giraffe. I wrote that down. Well, I wrote it down last time, and then I went and listened to them. I liked their. I mean, it's super. I will say it's super interesting what they're doing with their like. At least the videos that I saw were really artistically like different. So anyway, well, that awesome. Well, Starla, thank you very much.
Would like their live studio album that's called, this is a mouthful, Live at the Globe of Yesterday's Tomorrow. That was it is a constant live performance that they recorded for like a special Blu-ray thing that they did. And so everything is done in one go, and it's kind of like a live, not live concert. Every song that they do in Live in the Globes of Yesterday's Tomorrow is the best versions of the songs that you see in album 1 and 2 Cent Show. Like the album 1 version of Juju Magic, not very good, I'll admit. It was their first album, it's kind of okay. But the opening of Juju Magic in Live at the Globes of Yesterday's Tomorrow, bro, it gets your hips moving. You're getting funky fresh tonight. Like, it's so good.
Fair. All right. Well, you guys have a good rest of your night over there up in
absolutely.
Up in Canada. So we're Starla, you wanna sign off?
Oh yeah, dude. You want me to log off?
I meant like you wanna like you always have a very good way of like being like, yeah, this is awesome hanging out and I'm gonna go. You guys have a great night. No, everyone, thank you, Midnight.
I gotta apologize for the targeted attack kind of a little bit first.
Oh no, this is
Go wait, is he taking calls? And then I was like, yeah, probably, and I see him pull out his phone, and then I see him take out his headphones, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Yeah. No, well, here I'll do it. I'm gonna do what you taught me. Ali Starla, thank you for calling in. Midnight Underground loves you, appreciates you. I hope you have a great rest of your night, and I'll see you next time in the Underground.
All right, thank you so much for having me, Captain. I will log back in at 0900 hours. By your order, sir.
All right.
Have a good night.
All right, good night. Yay, 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 yay. All right. Oh, here we go. Hello?
Hello from Salerno, Italy.
Hello from Italy, from southern Italy. Welcome in. So,
50 kilometers south of the
nice. Do you prefer if I call you Photo? I see that your Discord name is different, or do you want me to call you by your actual name? How do you feel?
It's the same. Davide is it.
I'm sorry. What was that?
David, David,
David?
David, it's okay. Yeah.
Okay. Where? Well, how you doing tonight? How? Thank you for hopping into tonight's stream and for hanging out. How's your outside of hopping into the stream? How's your day going so far?
It's pretty good. I mean, I am in the year moment of the year for work. My wife is outside of our hometown, and I have no idea what's
Nice. Yeah, and so thank you for making this. Yeah, and you made this intercontinental call. Or like I mean that's sick. And it's weird too to think like you're pretty far, like you're halfway across the world in one sense. But
It's
so,
always nice to meet new people. That's the beauty of the internet. You know, we are talking with each other.
yes,
We will never meet. We are
yeah.
talking tonight. It's wonderful. That's amazing. No?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So I typically I will say too, David, is typically I'll run a segment called Nightline. You'll see it maybe like next week, or I think I might be doing it next week or in 3 weeks from now. But typically that is a night dedicated to just people calling in, and those nights I'll just ask you questions about yourself and things like that. But for tonight, in the theme of doing the vault dive, um, is there any like artists that you can think of that would be like something that probably people don't know, or like an artist that people might not know that's here in the chat tonight?
And the there's a group called Tasco, which I like very much. TALCO. I don't know if you, uh, that kind of music is called Ka. So,
Nice. So were you saying that the artist is called Baco?
Tasco. TALC.
I'm sorry. I think it's just what I'm experiencing is it's just like there are certain times you're coming in really clear, and then certain times where it sounds a little raspy.
That's probably because
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna
I'm s-
dive it, yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, and that's weird. Like I heard you just perfectly fine there. Talco. Okay. Talco is the artist. Sick. So and what is who? Let me look it up. Talco here. Artist. Prominent Italian ska punk band from. Oh, whoa. Okay, so it's yes, it's a band. All right. And it sounds like they're still putting out music. So they're a group that is like well known in Italy.
No, it's not well known. It's, I believe it's quite
Oh,
niche. I mean, the punk scene is not that big, and they also like ska, which is even more niche.
oh,
Ska is
okay.
mostly a Spanish and Balkan thing. It's not that big in Italy.
Nice. Wow. Well, dang, dude. Thank you for sharing that. That's a so I have them up on my Google right now. So that's another group that I'll listen to. Um, and yeah, I mean the idea here too is over time sharing some of these artists back into another like segment of this episode or of this channel. So I appreciate any kind of ideas. um it's sick. So what's the what time is it over there?
6 a.m.
6 a.m. Oh, so it's nice and early for you. Oh, wow. Great day to start your day is coming out of midnight. Oh, love it. Yeah, and so do you have like work today, or like what is the rest of your day
No,
looking? I'm sorry, what was that?
especially the close, most of March.
Okay.
April.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Again, it was coming in a bit fuzzy there. I'm sorry. Um,
Mostly, I have nothing to do for 20 days.
oh, it's okay. Yeah, it's no worries either way. I mean, I really appreciate speaking to you. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance. I mean, that's for sure. So, yeah, I mean, and I'm just shocked too that yeah, the internet does allow us a lot of flexibility with just being able to call halfway across the world. So that's sick. Um, so David, do you have any parting thoughts for us? Any parting wisdom before you hop off here this morning for you?
No, I'm glad to be here. I met the jumped into your stream, and hello everyone.
Awesome. All right, well, you have a good one too. Thank you so much. Everyone, round of applause. David, have a great rest of your day, man. Thank you for calling in. It's a pleasure. My name is Derek. It's a pleasure to meet you, dude. So wow. That was. I'm gonna deafen myself on the call. That was fucking awesome. David, thank you so much, and I mean, geez, I genuinely, sincerely appreciate you taking the time to stay throughout this stream tonight and to hang out with all of us. Glad you're in the Discord, and so now we'll be able to bug you on the Discord. Outside of that, guys, that's gonna bring us to the end of the stream. I'm gonna hop out of Nightline here, which I don't know how to do sometimes. There we go. All right, so guys, that's gonna bring us to the end of the stream tonight. Thank you guys all for hanging out. I had a great time with you guys. Wow, this stream really picked up tonight. So, Bunk, thank you for hanging out the whole time. Red, if you're still lurking, thank you. Snooze, Starla, Goat. I'm gonna go back. Typically, I like to call people by their little tags here, so I'll go back to calling you Photo David. But just know, you're always welcome to come back here. And anyone else, if I missed anyone else, if you're lurking and you're just watching, you've just been watching the video this whole time or the stream, thank you. It's been a pleasure. I'm gonna go in here and just see if there's anyone we could raid tonight. Other than that, guys, I hope you guys, if you're hopping off, I hope you have a great rest of your night. Oh, that was just me talking into my own audio there. But yeah, this was fucking awesome. Big chill. Wait, what? I didn't enable anything just now. It said I enabled subscribers only mode for this room. I don't know how I Oh, I know how I did it. I pressed that. Hold on. That's funny, actually. All right. Thank you for turning it off. I accidentally clicked it and I was like, "What the hell?" All right, let me see who's So there's somebody doing karaoke right now. I'm going to pop you guys over to them. Their name is Neko XX Games. He's just doing karaoke. All right, so not subscribe. Your godly power. It's okay. Thanks for watching. Now subscribe or leave. Get out of here. All right, well, you guys, I'll pop you guys over to this dude doing karaoke. You guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys next week on Midnight Underground. Please stay posted. I'll post the schedule on the Discord, and I hope everyone has a great rest of their weekend and have a great week ahead. You guys are awesome. You're fantastic. You are it. All right. And I will catch you guys next week. Good night. See you guys later. Good night. Good night. Good night. Bye-bye. Bye.